All right, I am back in Missoula, where I really found myself back in September. I was here for a little bit over a month. And if I had to name one memory of COVID-19, it was back in September when I spent a lot of time on the trails here in Missoula, and I was working remotely, and I had good chemistry with the people I was working with remotely. But there's something that I need to get over when I go back to the office. One of the nice things about having remote meetings with my boss is that oftentimes I can have some background music. He doesn't hear the music, obviously. What I do is I put on my headset, I'm talking to him, but I have background music, usually classical music. And the reason that helps very well is that sometimes silence really spooks me. And to give you an idea, when I was negotiating this apartment here in Missoula, I kept wanting to interrupt the landlord. He would say something about how great the property was and something like that. And had I let him finish, he might have even made a concession to some things in the apartment, right? Maybe I did get a minor concession, but I probably could have gotten a whole lot more if I wasn't so spooked by silence. And when I go to the office with the boss, I do that a lot too. I bet I've gypped myself a lot by interrupting. I was just talking to my boss online. I was listening to Beethoven's Sixth Symphony while I was talking to him, and I wasn't so spooked when he was talking. I didn't interrupt him, and I'll have to practice talking in the same way when we go back to the office. Although I do wonder what would happen if I suggested a little bit of background music during the meetings. Maybe after we go back, I'll explain how it really helped me during the COVID crisis. Right? I don't know. I've never seen anybody request something like that, so it is weird for sure. But given how much it benefited me, it's not completely out of my consideration. Obviously, if the meeting is held at my office instead of his, it might be easier just to, obviously at a reasonable volume, right? Just have it play. But more importantly, I need to get over my fear of silence, because it's not just with my boss or my landlords that this happens with. I do it in relationships. I do it with, see, it's kind of funny. One of my resolutions this year was to get over my fear of loud environments, like the bowling alley, like going on vacation, like crowded flights, right? Obviously, I probably won't be able to fly this year still, and yet I fear silence too. The extremes really bother me. But I got over my fear of loud noises. I go bowling once or twice a week now, usually the Thunder Extreme events. What really helps with, the reason it's so easy for me to get over my fear of loud noises like that is that it's easy to control when you get to deal with them, right? I go to the bowling alley, I leave the bowling alley. It's not so easy to go to and leave silence, right? So you can't really control the timing, your mood, or whatever when you're doing it, right? It just happens, right? It's not a switch that you can walk into or out of, right? I think that's why it's so much more challenging for me to battle this resolution. Maybe next Monday when I talk to my boss again, I'll turn off the music and practice. I guess that's the only thing I can control at the moment. Or next time the landlord comes over, practice that. I guess that's the only thing that's controllable at the moment. But it's a big fear of mine for some reason. I bet I've shortchanged myself. I would hate to see how much how much of a deal I've thrown away in my lifetime by interrupting, right? If we added up all the losses over my lifetime, wouldn't be surprised if it were like a 5 or 6 figure number. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Anyways, I got to work on that this week. Thanks for watching.